80% of people who buy home gym equipment never use it after the first month. Not laziness. They bought level 4 gear at level 2. 7 levels of home gym spending, and level 4 is where the money dies. 3 questions at every level. Does it add a movement you cannot already do? Will it last 10 years? Does it make you train tomorrow? Starting at level 1. Level 1. $0 to $200. A pull-up bar in a doorway, a set of bands, a mat on the floor, and your own body weight. Most people skip straight past this, and it is the single biggest mistake in the whole progression, because level 1 is not a compromise. It is a filter. It answers the only question that matters before you spend real money. Will you actually show up 3 times a week for 8 weeks? That is the question the industry never asks you, because the industry makes nothing when the answer is no. Here is the number that should be printed on every box in the fitness aisle. A YouGov survey found that 80% of Americans who bought home fitness equipment as a New Year's resolution never used it after the first month. 80%. Consumer Reports found roughly 40% of buyers use their machines less than they expected. Americans spend an estimated $4 billion a year on equipment that ends up gathering dust. None of those people had a gear problem. They had a habit problem, and they tried to buy their way out of it. $200 answers that question in 8 weeks. $2,000 does not answer it any faster. It just makes the answer more expensive. Run the 3 tests here, and all 3 pass. Body weight covers every movement you currently need, a steel pull-up bar lasts forever, and the lowest friction gym in the world is the one already hanging in your doorway. And the equipment here is genuinely capable. Not a consolation prize. A doorway bar, a band set, and a floor covers pull-ups, chin-ups, rows, dips off a chair, push-up variations, split squats, hinges, and every core movement there is. Beginners add strength on that for months. The only thing it runs out of is load, and running out of load is the correct reason to spend money. Boredom is not. Pass the filter, then spend. Level 1 proves you will train. Level 2 gives you something to train against. Level 2, $200 to $600, adjustable dumbbells and an adjustable bench, and now you are dangerous. This is the best dollars per exercise ratio of any level on this list, and it is not close. The bench alone unlocks 20+ movements body weight cannot touch. Incline press, flat press, seated overhead work, supported rows, split squats. A budget adjustable bench runs $80 to $150. A quality one, the kind that does not flex under a heavy press, runs $200 to $400. And the dumbbells are where you make a real decision. Selectorized dial and cradle units cost around $4 to $5 a pound. Plate-loaded adjustables run about $2.25 a pound. Same resistance, half the money, and it is the slower one that will still be working in 15 years, because there is no selector disc inside it to crack. Buy your flooring here too, before the equipment gets heavy. Horse stall mats from a farm supply store are 3/4-inch solid rubber at roughly $45 to $55 for a 4x6 mat, and 4 of them cover a 10x10 space for about $180. That is less than a single month at some gyms, and they last 10 years with 0 maintenance. A $500 setup pays for itself against a $50 membership in 4 to 6 months. 4 months. Space matters here too, and it is almost nothing. 50 to 70 square feet, a 7x8 patch, holds a bench, dumbbells, and a mat with room to move. That is a corner of a spare bedroom. And every item at this level holds its value, because iron and steel do not expire. So if you stall out, you recover most of your money instead of paying a gym to keep charging you. Most people never reach that math because they jumped 3 levels first. One warning before you leave this level: the adjustable dumbbell is the single most recalled, most broken category in home fitness, and the failure point is always plastic doing a steel job. Check what holds the plates to the handle before you check the price. Level 2 buys the movements. Level 3 buys everything that is left. Level 3, $600 to $1,500. The barbell, the plates, the rack, and this is the most important level in the entire video. So watch what happens here. A 7-foot Olympic bar with 255 to 300 pounds of iron runs $340 to $500, and that is 12 to 18 months of progressive overload for almost anybody. Budget squat stands or a basic power rack start around $200 to $400, and a proper 11-gauge rack lands between $490 and $690. Reviewers who test racks for a living say a 2x3 cage rated to 850 pounds covers 95% of home gym users. Buy the iron used, and it costs 50 to 75 cents a pound against $1 or more new, because cast iron does not degrade ever. And a bent barbell is the only thing on the used market you actually have to inspect. Now here is the part that should change how you think about every level after this one. At level 3, you own the equipment to train every major movement pattern the human body performs. Squat, hinge, horizontal press, vertical press, horizontal pull, vertical pull, loaded carry, all 7 of them. There is no 8th pattern waiting behind a paywall. Everything you buy from this point forward is one of 3 things: a new stimulus, a better environment, or a duplicate of something you already own. 2 practical notes before you buy. Space. A basic rack setup wants a minimum of 8x8, 64 square feet, and 10x12 if you want a bench and dumbbells in the same room without shuffling things. And buy new where structure carries you. A rack and a bar are the 2 items holding load over your body, so that is where the money belongs. While plates, benches, and storage are all safe to buy secondhand at 40 to 60% off retail. That distinction is the whole video. $1,500 in and the training is solved. Level 3 finishes the gym. Level 4 is where people forget that. Level 4, $1,500 to $4,000, and this is where most guys waste it. Not because the gear is bad, because the gear is redundant. Level 4 is the smart mirror, the touchscreen treadmill, the wall-mounted trainer with the mandatory subscription, the all-in-one tower, the second rack, the cable machine bought in month 4 out of boredom. Every one of those is a well-made object. Now run the first test on them honestly. Does it add a movement you cannot already do? A lat pull-down station when you own a pull-up bar and a barbell. A leg press when you own a squat rack. A chest press machine when you own a bench. A $4,000 screen coaching you through movements your barbell already covers. That is not an upgrade. That is a second way to do the same thing, at 4 times the price, and your muscles cannot tell the difference between them. The industry has the receipts on this. The average home gym owner regularly uses only about 30% of the equipment they bought, with single-purpose machines gathering dust while the versatile basics get used every day, 30%. And the mistakes compound at this weight class. Poor measuring on a large machine costs $500 to $2,000 in shipping, restocking, and replacement when the thing will not fit through the door or under the ceiling. A mid-tier build in this range takes 3 to 7 years to break even against a $50 membership, against 4 to 6 months at level 2. And the subscription machines add a bill that never stops. $60 a month is $719 in the first year alone, sitting on top of a $4,000 purchase. So the spending triples. The break-even goes from months to years. 70% of it gets used rarely or never, and the training itself does not change by a single rep. There is one more cost that never shows up in the comparison. Every large machine you add takes floor space away from the equipment that was working, and reviewers who plan these rooms tell you to allow 2 to 3 feet of clearance around anything you install. So the tower arrives, the rack gets pushed against a wall, the bench loses its walk around, and the setup that was pleasant to train in becomes an obstacle course. That is not a level. That is a detour with a price tag. And the fix is simple. When you finish level 3, skip level 4 entirely and put that exact money into level 5 and level 6 instead. One honest exception, because this channel does not deal in absolutes. If a level 4 machine solves a real constraint, a shoulder that will not tolerate a barbell press, a back that needs a supported row, a spouse who will only train on a machine, then it is not a duplicate. it is access, and it earns its money. The waste is not the category. The waste is buying it out of boredom at month 4. Level 4 buys duplicates. Level 5 buys the things a barbell genuinely cannot do. Level 5, $4,000 to $8,000 spent correctly this time. The test is the same one Level 4 just failed. Does this add a movement I could not previously perform? And here there are real answers. A 45-degree back extension, around $225, trains the posterior chain through a full range with 0 spinal compression, which a barbell cannot do by definition, because every barbell lift loads your spine on the way up. A reverse hyper, around $1,000, is the only loaded machine in the building that decompresses the spine, while it trains the glutes and hamstrings, invented by a man who broke his back twice and refused a fusion. A Nordic curl bench, under $500, delivers the single most researched hamstring exercise on earth. A sled, a few $100s, is concentric-only conditioning that leaves almost no muscle damage, so it adds hard work without stealing recovery from anything else. And a quality functional trainer, around $2,200, adds a resistance profile no free weight produces, constant tension through a rotating path. That is 5 genuinely new capabilities for the money most people hand over for one duplicated machine. Notice the pricing pattern, because it is not an accident. These things are cheap precisely because nobody advertises them, and nobody advertises them because they are unglamorous. There is one more purchase that belongs here, and it is not a machine. A second barbell for a different job, or a set of quality kettlebells or plyo boxes or rings. All of them cheap, all of them adding movements you did not have, none of them with a screen. The rule holds across every one of them. If a company has to run ads to convince you the thing is essential, it is usually the thing that adds the least. There is no marketing department for a back extension. Level 5 buys new training. Level 6 stops buying equipment altogether. Level 6, $8,000 to $15,000. And at this level, the money leaves the equipment entirely and goes into the room. Flooring across a full 2-car garage runs $600 to $1,000 in stall mats, and it is not cosmetic. Dropping a 45-pound plate onto bare concrete generates roughly 10,000 pounds of force at the point of impact, and proper rubber cuts the noise by 50 to 80%. A deadlift platform costs $200 to $500 to build. Mass-loaded vinyl behind the drywall, at $1 or $2 a square foot, keeps a shared wall neighbor civil. Insulation, a mini split, and a fan, because nobody trains in a 100-degree garage in August or a 30-degree garage in January, and a gym you avoid 4 months a year is a gym you own 3/4 of. Real lighting, at $30 to $60 a shop fixture, which sounds trivial and is not. Mirrors, sound. Storage that keeps the floor clear so you are not moving 3 things to squat. None of it adds a single exercise, and that is fine, because it answers the 3rd test instead of the 1st. Does it make you train tomorrow? Look at what that test is worth. Half of all new gym members quit within 6 months. Average gym visits fell from 2.1 a week in 2019 to 1.5 by 2023. The gap between owning a gym and using one is where every dollar in this video is won or lost, and level 6 is the only level that attacks that gap directly. Measure the room before any of it, and measure up as well as across. Ceiling height decides whether you can press overhead or finish a pull-up. Door width decides whether a machine can physically enter the building, and a standard 4-inch concrete slab handles anything in this video without complaint, while an upstairs room in an apartment is usually rated for 40 to 50 pounds per square foot and needs a different plan entirely. $1,000 of insulation that buys back 4 months a year, every year, for 20 years, is the highest returning purchase on this entire list. And unlike everything before it, none of this can be added later without tearing something out. Level 6 buys attendance. Level 7 buys the last thing money can buy in here. Level 7, $15,000 and up into a fully built-out space that can pass $25,000, and here is the twist you were promised. Because level 7 is not the most expensive level. Measured properly, it is the cheapest. Everything here is bought exactly once. Welded 11-gauge racks carrying lifetime frame warranties. A rowing machine whose manufacturer still sells parts for units built in the 1980s. Adjustable dumbbells with no structural plastic and a lifetime warranty. Refurbished commercial cardio, engineered to run 18 hours a day under strangers at up to 70% off what the health club paid for it. Nothing at this level is replaced, because nothing at this level breaks. And $50 a year of maintenance prevents $500 to $1,500 of premature failure, while neglecting it cuts equipment life by 40 to 60%. And then the part almost nobody accounts for. Quality gear holds 50 to 70% of its value on the used market. Your level 4 screen is worth a fraction of what you paid for it the day the warranty lapses. Your level 7 barbell is worth close to what you paid for it a decade later. So run the arithmetic across 8 years, and home gym owners land somewhere between $7,000 and $38,000 ahead of a membership, depending on tier. And you do not have to arrive here with a single check. Buying used cuts a setup cost by 30 to 50%. And the things worth buying secondhand are exactly the things that cannot rot. Barbells, iron plates, benches, racks, cable machines. The things to buy new are the ones with mechanisms and rubber in them. Adjustable dumbbells, bands, and flooring. Do that, and level 7 becomes a 10-year assembly rather than a purchase, which is how nearly everyone who actually owns one got there. The most expensive gym on this list costs the least per year of use, and it is not close. That is the whole ladder in one sentence. 7 levels, 1 pattern. Every level except 4 buys capability, durability, or attendance. So work the ladder in order, skip the 4th rung, and you never buy the same gym twice. Subscribe if you like this video. New videos coming soon.